This year we're very, very proud to present our first Work-Life Balance Institute for Women, first honorary Queenbee. Shh, remember the bee is the most important little symbol that we can be, because it's all about being empowered, being inspired, and being connected. And I want to just tell you a little bit about, you saw the bee story, I think, in the conference journal. If you've not had a chance to read it, we ask you to read it because we talked about it this morning. But I also want to tell you another story of the bee. She's considered by much of European royalty as a symbol of wisdom, strength, and nobility. And Phyllis Sandler is a woman who defines that symbol. And not just defines it, but really surpasses that symbol. And we set forth all sorts of criteria for what the Queen Bee was going to be for our first honorary Queen Bee, and we could have not picked a more deserving individual. So first, let me tell you about what the criteria is to be a Queen Bee, because I know all of you would like to be a Queen Bee one day, and we would love to honor you as well. But here is our first, and let me tell you a little bit about who she is and why she's been chosen. Phyllis demonstrates through her words and her actions and deeds that she believes in bestowing and sharing her gifts of success to others. Among their many philanthropical endeavors, she and her husband Harvey Sandler have contributed to hospitals, museums, universities, cultural arts, and health-related charities. The Sandlers also donated $1 million to build a Jewish education building at Congregation B'nai Israel in Boca Raton, Florida, as well as donating $2.5 million to the Jewish Federation of South Palm Beach to endow an Alzheimer's Day Care Center. Her role model as a businesswoman ranked 20th in the country as an insurance salesperson. It was apparent that Phyllis really believes the first half of life is about building a business and a life, and having a family, and the second half is about giving back. Yes, she's queen for a day. Yes, she is. She is inspiring. Phyllis chooses to accept and learn from both the beneficial and adverse situations in her life journey, making her rich in strength and in wisdom. And her beloved Harvey was diagnosed with a brain tumor at age 50. Together they promised to devote themselves to charity if he survived. And over a decade later, the Sandlers are still fulfilling that promise, one cause at a time. During their darkest times and hardest struggles, Phyllis would say to her husband, "Hang in there, Harvey. I promise you there's a hidden gift behind the greater the challenge, the greater the pain, the bigger the gift, and I'm telling you that we're going to find it." Phyllis is connecting. She is a connector. She understands the value of uniting women and how that bond fosters support, strength, and gives back, not just to her circle, but to all. She has passed on that important knowledge to her daughters, Amy and Robin, who have recently co-chaired the fundraising component of the Go Pink Challenge to benefit the breast care at the Women's Center at Boca Raton Community Hospital. And speaking of the Boca Raton Community Hospital, before Phyllis receives her award, we would like to ask her dear friend, Dr. Louise Morell, Medical Director for the Center for Breast Care at the Women's Center at Boca Raton Community Hospital, to share a few thoughts and words about Phyllis. Dr. Morell.
Thanks, Susie. Congratulations, Phyllis. You know, I think there are a lot of people in this room who could, and certainly a lot of people everywhere who could and would like to be where I'm right now, which is to be able to express their personal feelings about what your contributions have meant to them. So I'm actually really proud to be able to be one of those, to be the spokesperson at this moment, and to have the privilege of getting to tell you some of my personal thoughts about that. when we met several years ago, I knew you from your work with Harvey and with the Jewish Federation and with the board at the hospital. And we brought forward a dream and a vision as a person who, I'd say I'm a worker bee, because I'm like a lot of you. We're out there and we're just sort of digging in every day. And we brought forward our dream of what we wanted to do for cancer patients. And our dream was to be able to put together a program that really focused on what the patient needed, to bring together all the specialists, to allow that to happen in one place, in one building, with all the best technology and all the doctors working as a team and the other support services as a team. And you responded to that, and you responded to it so briskly and enthusiastically and personally impassioned. You know, it's easy for me to be impassioned about what I do every day, but it's amazing to me how you just responded to that immediately and said, we're stepping up, we're going to see this happen. And today I got to sit at a conference and yesterday see, I think, 9 new young women, 35, 37, 42 years old, facing breast cancer with terror, and walk out with confidence and assured they had a plan and a best case to fight it. And that's your doing. You put that together for us, and you gave us the tools, and you gave us what we needed. And we're touching lives every single day as a result of it, and we're able to fulfill our dreams as a result of it. And but since I've gotten to know you over the time, I've learned a couple of other things, and you should know that too, which is you're not a person who just steps up and says, well, this needs some support, and we're going to find the finances to do it. You are a person who does that on a personal level. And as a worker bee, as a person who's out there seeing the needs and getting the rewards every day of patients who are benefiting from it, that is an inspiration to us. And we need that inspiration every day too. So you have to know that personal passion that you bring and the way you are willing to work and fight and communicate and reach out and stretch and do all of those things has made a difference. And then finally, I want to tell you, oh, it's okay. Finally, I want to tell you one other thing. You know, a while back, I have 3 daughters, and they're 9 through 14 years of age, and I had a lot of expectations of what I wanted to do with my life, and I still do, and I'm still doing them. But it suddenly dawned on me when they were very little that, in fact, maybe the best contribution and most important contribution that was going to happen from my life was the tools I was going to give them to make their difference in the world. And what I've witnessed by learning from you and from your family is that, and I think you know it, is that with all of this that we can see, the truth is the best is yet to come. And the greatest gifts are yet to come because your children have learned that from you. And they've been inspired. And you know, you can't do that by words. You can only do that if that is exactly who you are. Your children don't follow that just because you say, oh, you should be a giver. They follow that because it's the authentic, real value in your life that drives you. And I can see it in their lives, and the best is yet to come, and I congratulate you on this award.
Dr. Morell, thank you for taking the time from your busy schedule and really connecting with these incredibly heartfelt words about our Queenbee, our first honorary Queenbee. And now the love continues, and can we bring down the lights and be very quiet, please, with the plate clinking. I really want to have everybody pay attention to the screens, and please watch the video. Isn't it amazing that Phyllis Sandler spoke about the Queenbee 20 years ago? Talk about the synchronicity of that to happen. And here she is as our first amazing Queenbee. Ladies and gentlemen, Phyllis Sandler. Right here, it's here.
Thank you.
Have your flower.
Whoa, I'm really overwhelmed. I did not expect that. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Louise, and the board. Just, wow. Okay. I'm really excited to be here, mostly to be surrounded by all these fabulous, dynamic, wonderful women. The energy in this room today is exciting. I've always heard that each day comes bearing its own gifts, and all you need is to do is untie the ribbons. Today, I really feel like a little girl on her birthday, or I feel like the girl that walks down and Miss America. Wow. It seems like only yesterday that I sat in a room like this and I was listening to Marilyn Vanderburg, a former Miss America, and she was giving a motivational talk. And I was thinking to myself that I hope someday that I would be able to have an opportunity and have something really worthwhile to share. And when Susie asked me to be the first honorary Queenbee, I had no idea what that meant. And so I did a little research. And I remembered reading a book called The Secret Life of Bees. Many of you may have read that book and maybe seen the movie. Most people don't have any idea about the complicated life going on inside a hive. Bees have a secret life we don't know anything about. Women, too, have a secret life only we understand. Our mothers, sisters, girlfriends play an integral role in our lives. We thrive when we have support and love and care and inspire and encourage and teach each other. Bees have lives very similar to ours. We, like bees, are committed to our mothers and have a continuous ability to keep going and going in work and have the ability to survive and inspire others. Bees, like women, are reliant on an all-female community. The female community gives them the power that helps them survive. That's what we are here for today. That's what the Work-Life Balance Institute is really all about. We're all living through a difficult time right now, a financial crisis that most of us have never seen. It's a time of stress and uncertainty and fear. In it is a struggle that it's in the struggle that we find out who we really are and what we are made of. There is nothing perfect. There is only life. We need to learn how to deal with the good and the bad that comes with life. And I have found in my life that difficult times have been a wake-up call, and more often than not, they held opportunities that were found in my challenges. We can't let them slip away because opportunity doesn't always come wrapped in a pretty package, and it doesn't look like opportunity. It doesn't say, here I am. We have to look for opportunity in everything, in every day. I can remember a time like this for me in 1974. The economy was in a recession, and one night, my husband came home and he said, honey, we have to sell the house, get rid of the housekeeper, the kids can't go to camp, cancel the country club membership, and you have to get a job. The housekeeper? Oh my God. Anything but not the housekeeper. I thought it was the end of my life, but in fact, it really was the beginning of a new and better part of my life. For the first time, I really found out who I was and what I was capable of, and that indeed I am a strong woman. I decided to do something completely foreign to me. I went back to school and I learned the life insurance business. At that time, in 1980, there were very few women in that business, and I knew nothing about that business. I count on my fingers. I don't know how to use a calculator, and then I didn't know how to use a computer either, but now I do. Everyone said I'd never make it, but just like that bee that doesn't know that it's too heavy for its wings, I didn't know it, so I flew anyway. They told me that I could be my own boss, that I could make my own appointments, and that I could make as much money as I was willing to work for. And no one would tell me how much money I was worth. It sounded like a good thing for me, right? It's a funny thing about life, but if you refuse to accept anything but the best and what you really, really want, you often get it. It was a challenging time for me. I worked all day and studied at night. I had 3 young children and a life to keep up with. But the harder I worked, the more successful I became. What a concept. These are the moments that force us to stop and rethink our lives. These are the times that become opportunities for growth. Often things happen in life that are out of our control, but there is much that we do have control over, especially how we react to what happens to us. Regardless of these obstacles, and likely because of them, at almost 70 years old, my life's journey has been an exciting adventure. I had to tell you that. Take this off. It's been a process of growing and learning and becoming more and more of who I am. It isn't until we go through struggle that we really develop compassion and humility and appreciation and courage. We grow stronger and more confident with the difficulties that we go through. My husband and I share the same values. We are so grateful for our wonderful family and many loving friends. Helping other people is what gives meaning to our lives. We have been so very blessed. I have 3 amazing, wonderful children who are here with me today. 2 daughters and a son who I am so, so proud of. They are amazing. There really are no words. There are no words. And I have, and their spouses, they all live around me in Boca, and their spouses who are my children by luck, and my amazing grandchildren. And with Harvey's 2 sons and grandchildren, we have 11 grandchildren between the ages of 6 and 23. The 23-year-olds are mine. At the end of every year, the week of New Year's, I like to take time to think about my life, to plan, to dream, to imagine. So I write in my journal. I write the things that I've accomplished during the past year. And I take time to be grateful. I take time to appreciate my life and really, really take it in. I ask myself, what would I like to do differently next year? How can I be a better person? And then I set goals for myself. And for as long as I can remember, I've had a magic wish list. I call it magic because what I write down becomes my reality. I plant the seeds in my head, and my thoughts and my energy move in the direction of that goal. First thinking it, then writing it down is so powerful. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and magical things happen. People come into my life. I seem to attract whatever I need to help me reach my goal. On January 1st, I wrote in my journal this year to get healthy and lose 30 pounds. A week later, I was introduced to somebody who had just lost 40 pounds. I didn't waste 1 minute. The seed was already planted. That was my goal. And I went right to make an appointment with the doctor. That same day, I started on January 8th and have lost 33 pounds since then. Being honored as the first Work-Life Balance Institute Queenbee is a real kick because I love inspiring and empowering women to become their best, to live their best life. So as your Queenbee, I'd like to say, as women, it's so important that we do that for one another, that we do inspire each other. Every day we meet people whose lives we can impact simply by sharing some positive energy and a little bit of ourselves. I often ask myself, how can I spread light? Can I be the candle or the mirror that reflects it? I hope that everybody I come in contact with can walk away feeling better than they did before, simply by being real and honest and sharing what I have to give. We all can inspire other women. It's important that we empower one another because we help each other get stronger. And by loving and appreciating each other, we fill each other up. We fill our cups to overflowing. It's all about connection, and we do that through organizations like this, Work Balance Life Institute. I lost my page. Oh, sorry. The Secret Life of Bees realistically and poetically explains the value of letting go of hatred and the importance of loving, forgiving, lifting up others. In the story of the Queenbees, the sisters' love and devotion for one another is shown as a positive force which helps them come to terms with the tragedies in their lives and helps to inspire them. I've come a long way since my first Amway meeting. I have learned so much on this journey to Queenbeedom. And I will leave you with the profound words of Michael J. Fox, who is living his best life against the odds because he believes that happiness grows in direct proportion to our acceptance and in inverse proportions to our expectations. I'm so happy that we are experiencing this event together. To my dear friend Susie and the board of directors of the Work-Life Balance Institute for Women, and to all of you wonderful, strong, fabulous women and men in the audience, thank you. This is truly a very exciting honor to be the first Queenbee. I'm not? I'm not? This is temporary. Okay.
Phyllis, at this time, we want to present you with our first honorary Queenbee personalized, what would you call this, an acrylic?
This was designed especially for you.
By Romero Brito.
By Romero Brito.
Personally signed, etched Queenbee. You can see she's wearing her crown just like you are, and I want April Bollett from Brito Central who had it all done for you in time for today to present it to you.